Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. I hope you are having a great day. Let's start with today's stories. Am I the idiot for not wanting to attend mother-in-law's wedding? In 2021, my husband, 24, male, and I, 22, female, were planning our wedding. My mother-in-law did absolutely nothing to make this an easy process. Every little thing was a fight. She even went as far to text me an apology, stating I was taking her little boy away from her, and that's why she's been so hesitant. Even thought she kicked him out of the house when he was 15, and he was living in his truck in a parking lot, all because her husband at the time didn't like him. A man took priority over her own son. I wanted my husband's little sister to be our flower girl, and mother-in-law was on board the whole time, until 2 months before the wedding. She told me that it's her ex-husband's weekend, and that she wouldn't be able to attend the wedding at all, let alone be in it. Excuse me, what? I asked her if she could kindly ask to just swap with him, but she didn't want to feel like she, quote, owed him one. I already bought everything for her, because my mother-in-law wouldn't compromise with me on any dress I sent her. Either she didn't like them, or it was too expensive, or she'd send me dresses that did not match. She would have stuck out like a sore thumb in pictures, so I said to hell with it, and paid for it myself. We decided that since my husband came from a single parent's income, we won't ask for much help to alleviate stress with money. My parents paid for the vast majority of the wedding. They were wonderfully supportive during our wedding. We're getting closer to the day, and the last thing we need are ties for the groomsmen, along with food for the rehearsal dinner. Nothing fancy, just something for us to snack on while rehearsing. She had a problem with any food place we suggested. I eventually just left it up to her. I told my husband to make sure she got the right color ties for the men to wear, and even sent her a picture of the color we needed, sage green. Not emerald green, not lime green, and not forest green. Then this woman buys teal blue. We had to run to a dress shop at the last minute to find the correct color, and she got upset that she spent money, and we didn't use them. Why would you have bought them knowing they were the wrong color to begin with? My husband and I had a beautiful wedding regardless. A year later, and I'm talking to my brother-in-law's girlfriend, when she told me of all the horrendous things my mother-in-law said about me and my husband while we were planning the wedding. That we were trying to push her out, not let her be part of anything, and would complain. Which is completely false. A month ago she posted on Instagram that she's engaged. I talked to my husband about it and he was upset. He wants better for his sister and for his mom, and feels as if he and his brother should have at least been asked for their blessing first. I told him I wasn't going to the wedding. After everything mother-in-law has put us through, I don't want to be there. I don't want to pretend I'm happy for someone who made my wedding so much more complicated than it had to be. So am I the a-hole? OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the a-hole. I told my in-laws that I wasn't going to attend my mother-in-law's wedding. Some of them understand my decision, but others feel that I'm being petty and should let it go. I understand she's technically, quote, family, but she hasn't been there for me or my husband, and I don't want to pretend I'm happy for her when I'm not. She won't be receiving any sort of gift or congratulations from me, because she made planning my wedding a living hell. She doesn't know, and I don't plan on letting her know. I just plan on not showing up. If she asks for any sort of help, she won't receive it. I won't go out of my way to sabotage, but I won't help either. OP also replies to the comments and give us more info. I'm surprised you both had her at your wedding, after what she put your husband through as a kid. He must be much kinder than I would ever be. He's very kind and has tried multiple times to be part of her life. But it works both ways. The only time she has anything to do with him is when she needs something. I don't want to be the reason they drift even further apart, but I can't stand this woman. Wonder if she will even invite you? My husband joked we wouldn't be invited when we found out. It honestly wouldn't surprise us. The only family she cares about is her now fiancé's, and it has been since they met. I honestly believe it's just because they have money. She has nothing to do with her real family. Is it really worth the drama you might cause if you don't show up? That's kind of where I'm having a dilemma. I don't want to make things harder for my husband. But the family members who understand are really the only ones who have anything to do with us. I seriously expected her to wear white at my wedding. Instead she wore the darkest navy blue imaginable, almost black, as if she was in mourning. She's exhibited a lot of emotional incest. Okay? Black and navy blue are common colors to wear at weddings. Don't make something out of nothing. I hope it's not what I'm thinking. I just don't understand why she would go out of her way to not be part of our picked colors. Everyone else in the wedding was able to find gowns and suits to match. She was the only one wearing navy blue. Our colors were peach, sage green, pink gold, and white. Dark navy blue, just I don't know, that was how I took it. Info, did you ask her for her blessing to marry your husband? I'm trying to understand why he thinks he should be asked for his. No, the main reason he felt that way is because she had him when she was 15, they basically grew up together, because she was a kid herself. He wants to protect his mom even though she doesn't want anything to do with him. Her now fiancé has already cheated on her, and hasn't apologized to any of her sons for hurting her. Because it was their shoulders she was crying on when it happened. He's just very protective of those he loves. Believe me, if my husband needs me, I'll be there, but at that point it's not for her, it's for him. I hate to say it, but besides me, his grandparents have truly been the only people that have consistently been in his life, and have been that support he needs. I see them as his true parents, and they're not even biologically related to him. They show more love to him than his own biological mother. OP also gives more info about her little sister-in-law and mother-in-law's other children. I feel sorry for your little sister-in-law having to live with her. We're honestly waiting for the day when his mom kicks her out of the house too, just like she did all her sons. Only this time she'll have another option, instead of sleeping in a vehicle in some parking lot. I'll have a room just for her. Personally, I think you should try and get custody of her. I've honestly thought about that. It's just so scary waiting to see if she'll be able to make it through high school, without getting booted out the door. She's only 8 right now, so she still has time before her teen years, and that's when mother-in-law seems to like to get rid of them. Only wants to be a mom when it's easy, or when they're cute and she gets likes on social media. As soon as they grow up and start rebelling, she's done with them. It just doesn't work that way. Oh hell, no. Get her out of there. Now I am even more worried and scared for her. That is just horrible. I honestly don't know how she had custody of her second oldest. She took him out of school in middle school, said she would homeschool him and never did. He doesn't have a high school diploma, nor a GED, is 19 and is having to work under grandpa, because he can't get employment anywhere else making decent wages. And OP also tell us. This will be her 3rd marriage and she's only 40, she has 4 kids with 3 different men, and had the gall to tell me, to wait till I'm at least 28 to start having kids. Like, we'll decide when it's right for us, thank you. Just because you started early doesn't mean I have to start late. So yeah, I do think she's bitter. She's even talking about having another kid with her now fiancé, even after he's already said he doesn't want any. And even though she keeps tossing them out, as soon as she's done getting attention for having them. She's always seeking attention on social media, by posting about other people's problems. She needs some serious help. OP is not the idiot for not wanting to go to her mother-in-law's wedding. It's very clear to everyone that they don't get along, and I don't dismiss the reason why she doesn't want to go. Apparently she is not only a bad mother-in-law, but she is also not such a good mother, since she kicked all of her children out of the house while they were teenagers, and apparently for the same reason, the men in her life. She has constantly put these individuals before the well-being of her children, and it looks like she has no regrets about it. Also, even if she hadn't done everything she did to mess up OP's wedding, even if she was the perfect mother-in-law, everything she did to OP's husband was reason enough for OP or her husband doesn't want anything to do with her ever again, much less go to another one of her weddings. But apparently, for better or for worse, OP's husband still wants his mom present in his life, so it is not reasonable to recommend that OP go low or no contact with her. And also there is his little sister, who may very well suffer the same fate as her older siblings. In other words, being kicked out of the house when she's a little older, simply because her mother wants to, or because her next husband doesn't want a teenager living there. Well, as I said, I think it's fine for OP not to go to the wedding, but to avoid having a bigger problem and unnecessary arguments with mother-in-law or other not so understanding family members, I think OP should come up with an excuse. Like, she already has another commitment on that date, maybe a trip, or a work event, or something else. Otherwise, this could be the beginning of something much bigger, worse, and ugly. And what did you guys think of this situation? Do you agree with OP's decision? Or do you think she should just suck it up and go to the wedding? Do you think mother-in-law will even invite her? Now let's read what the comments have to say. Not the idiot. I didn't require any explanation beyond, she kicked him out of the house when he was 15. Not the idiot, but tread lightly here, is it really worth the drama you might cause if you don't show up? I understand she's awful, but this might be a good time to take the high road. Your husband realistically can't miss his mom's wedding, and making him go alone might turn more than his mother against you. Not the idiot. And if anyone presses the issue, just tell them you'd rather she have the happy day of celebration that she tried so hard to make sure you didn't have. Man. She is a massive narcissist. You are 100% not the idiot. I doubt that she would invite you, but maybe your husband in a revenge sort of way. If I am honest, I am worried about your husband's sister, after what happened to her not being allowed to be the flower girl. I wouldn't want any sister of mine to be around her. I would try to get her out of there. No offense to your husband, but I am not surprised that the new partner didn't ask for their blessing if your mother-in-law kicked out her son, because her husband was more important than her own freaking child. Then she wouldn't care what her children thought of her getting engaged again. Not the idiot. Mother-in-law sounds like a real piece of work, and while I'm sorry for you and your husband, be aware that she is not going to change. I would keep my contact with her to a minimum going forward. It will be a much calmer life if you do. And of course you don't have to go anywhere you don't want to go, and it doesn't sound like it will be a pleasant day. Having said that, considering this woman's past behavior, there will almost certainly be some major league drama, and as long as you're not involved, you might just bring some mental popcorn and enjoy the show. And, your husband may decide to go, because she's his mother, and he is still trying to have a relationship with her. In that case, you may choose to be there to support him, but even then I would not say you have to go. Your husband is an adult, and can make his own choices. So you agree with the comments? Would you have said anything different to OP? Would you have done anything different? Don't forget to leave your comments down below. Oh, are you enjoying the video so far? If so, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notifications to know when a new video is out. This really helps the channel, so I appreciate it. Now let's go to the next story. Removal of a table in my big boss office. When I was in the military, I worked in an office. This office has several rooms. My superior and his superior, big boss, work in the same room, but I work in a room several doors down. For context, big boss had a certain way of doing things, which was admittedly a little weird sometimes. But he really hated it when people changed the way he did things. I always knew this, and so I always just left big boss to his own devices. The easiest way to make Big Boss happy was to literally just give him what he wanted, doing the most unimportant and minor things, just the way he liked it, but that's a story for another day. Now, superior and big boss often have differing ideas and different ways of doing things, and superior really doesn't like it when I contradict him. For context, a few months before this incident, we just had quite a major structural adjustment in preparation for a large military operation. Superior wanted to lay out things a certain way. I disagreed. My disagreement made my superior very angry, because I should not be questioning him, and he told me not to question his judgment of how things should be laid out in our office again. One day, superior asks me to move the table out of the room, when big boss wasn't in. Me, are you sure big boss would like this? Superior, just do it, and stop asking so many questions. Me, okay then. Moves table out of big boss office. Q several hours later, who moved this table out of my office? Big boss voice can be heard several doors down. The dressing down could be heard several doors away. Big boss could be heard going off on my superior too for several minutes. After that incident, my superior gave me less of that just do it attitude until I left the military. LOL, here's the lesson guys, listen to the people around you, even if you're the boss, it doesn't mean you always know everything. If OP's boss had listened to him, he wouldn't be in trouble with his own boss, LOL. And that's it for today everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time.